Hi, my name is Dr. Ehssan Sakhaee and I am a leadership educator and trainer. I'm currently the director of the undergraduate leadership program at the Faculty of Engineering at the University of Sydney. What I'm passionate about is empowering the next generation of leaders. What we're missing today is authentic, vulnerable, and true leadership that empowers not just individuals, but communities and nations and the world. I also work with not just young people, but also professionals, engineers, and technical people to empower them to lead their organizations and teams more effectively. I also teach at UCLA Extension in a leadership subject in project management. So the Being profile measures the ways of being. Now, a lot of pre-existing psychometric instruments focus on behavioral patterns, more psychological factors. Whereas the Being profile looks at how we are being at this moment and how that actually impacts our behavior, how it impacts our effectiveness and our results. So for many years I've been trying to measure some sort of ways of being, including self-compassion, forgiveness, through validated instruments. But what's important with the Being profile is it integrates it in one place. It kind of brings it all together. There are things that people know that are important, like compassion, like love, forgiveness, but it's not really measured, and Being profile attempts to measure these ways of being effectively. Measuring them is one thing, but also really tapping into yourself and seeing how you can evolve through tapping into ways of being and cultivating those within yourself. And that's where the power is, not just the measuring of it, but the evolution of cultivating these within yourself, which in turn will impact your productivity, your effectiveness, your well-being, your relationships. And so that's what the power of the Being profile is. So over the past several years, I've been looking at how do I measure my students' development in their interpersonal skills and soft skills. At the beginning, I was looking at psychometric factors, I was looking at behavioral factors, and a lot of validated instruments that exist, and also doing them pre and post a program such as a unit of study which I teach at the university. What I was intrigued about with the Being profile is it brings everything together and looks at relationships in one place. And that's what creates the power of the Being profile, is individuals being able to see how they evolve by doing the Being profile multiple times and seeing how their impact in their effectiveness and ways of being are interconnected. The challenge of staying only on the behavioral and psychological level is that we don't really get down to the root causes of why that behavior is manifested. So by looking at ways of being, we can go to the roots of why people behave in certain ways, why they get certain results, and not just address the results and the symptoms, but really get to the root causes of that. So one of the ways of being is vulnerability. Now the program really allowed me to see how vulnerability affects so many other factors in our lives. Not just our performance, but our well-being, just how we operate, how we interact, how we make a difference to ourselves and others. And through vulnerability and understanding vulnerability and stepping into vulnerability, you can be more self-expressed, be able to and make better contribution to the world. What I got out of the Thrive Coach training program in the 13 weeks is skills to empower others. Even as a leadership educator and trainer, I'm now able to empower others to take ownership of the change that they want to make in their lives. So one of the most transformational experiences I've had is when I witness people being transformed in front of me when they realize they have the resource, they have the ability to make a difference to themselves and others. And that they don't have to be a victim, they don't have to blame others, they don't have to blame circumstances, but they can actually take responsibility. They can be empowered and empower others to make a difference to themselves and others. So I remember once during a coaching call, the person I was talking to was very stuck in where they were and in their relationship. They were basically feeling victimized or a victim in their circumstance. And by going through the coaching and bringing them into becoming aware of their ways of being, this person felt empowered and took responsibility for their situation and felt that they can get out of it by changing and stepping into the way of being of compassion, forgiveness, and responsibility to make a difference to themselves. So witnessing that made me become aware how powerful it is to guide individuals to take responsibility for their change and transformation. It just shows how powerful it is to become responsible through the ways of being you can step into and transform yourself and others. If you're experiencing challenges in life and not getting the results you want, even when you go through leadership training, workshops, and you're still not getting the results that you're looking for, it could be because you're not looking at the deep factors affecting those behaviors. So I urge you to take a look at the Bean profile and go deeper into why you're not getting the results and that you're looking for.